What's going on, everybody? This is Ulises. Obviously, as all of you know, we lost a dear legend, not just in the basketball world, but the community. Whether you follow the Lakers or the NBA or basketball or love sports, you can't help but mourn the life of someone that impacted the community, the world. I'm just at a loss of words, like many of you. Waking up to the loss of probably the greatest Laker that ever wore purple and gold. He was just an unbelievable human being. Unfortunately, I never got to meet him. But one of the many things that I learned and admire and respected about Kobe was his relentless pursuit of excellence. His pursuit of always being the best at anything. He was obsessed with winning. Just many lifelong lessons that I will always try to apply until the day I die. He was obsessed with being the best. Another one of the many things that I learned about watching Kobe and his work ethic. Everybody that knows him say that he was an unbelievable worker when it came to his craft. He was a master of his craft, and the reason why was because he worked at it. He was obsessed. His practices were probably even more intense than the games. He would shoot anywhere between 400 and 600 shots before the game, and after the game he stayed and practiced some more. I mean, again, we're talking about somebody that had a relentless work ethic. This is not somebody that shot 5 minutes before the game and then went out and partied and lived the life of a rock star celebrity. No, we're talking about somebody that was obsessed with winning, obsessed with being the best. We're talking about somebody that again, came out of high school as a 17-year-old player, getting drafted by the then Charlotte Hornets, and traded on draft day, June of '96. By then, our executive general manager, Jerry West, saw something in this kid that said, this guy is going to transform the franchise into heights that we've never seen. And when he arrived to the Lakers, most of the veteran players hated Kobe because of the fact that he had so much hype coming out of high school. Why is everybody talking about Kobe Bryant? What has he done? And again, he's always been used to, or I mean, it's kind of weird talking about Kobe in the past tense, but he was always so obsessed with proving people wrong. And that relentless work ethic, I think it's one of the things that always stood out in my eyes, that he was just a relentless student of the game, always found ways to get better. Those legendary conversations that sometimes he would call Michael Jordan after a game and said, hey, what about this move? How do you think I can improve? He was always humble enough to recognize that he felt that he needed to get better, and he would call the Magics and the Jordans and the Larry Birds and the Oscar Robertsons of the world people that again took the game to new heights before he came into the league. We're also talking about an unbelievable father, a father of four beautiful daughters, which unfortunately I believe one of them, Gianna, passed away with him, which I mean, being a father myself, it's utterly heartbreaking to know that you left your home, left your beautiful wife and four daughters. One of them goes with you, and they'll never get to see him again. You know, he was going to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this coming year. So we're talking about somebody that spent his entire career with one organization, which is right now unheard of. Most players will go to the highest bidder. And I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, he just wasn't one of those that was gonna jump ship when the Lakers were not doing well. And I remember when the Lakers were doing very, very bad, and everybody was laughing at the Lakers and the franchise. I mean, we were the joke of everybody for many years. So when the Lakers were not making the playoffs, and it was Kobe by himself. He never ever remotely considered joining 2, 3 other superstars to go into a super team and win a title. He was loyal and faithful not only to the Laker organization, but to LA, the community, the city that embraced him from day one. We're talking about somebody that spoke multiple languages. I remember the first time that a Latino or Hispanic radio station and television station interviewed him. They were about to talk to Kobe in English, and he starts talking to him in Spanish, and that just, I think that made the Hispanic and Latino community fall in love with Kobe, because he respected our culture so much that he was willing to learn our language and speak to us in our language. And I think that really embraced him in our eyes. He was raised also in beautiful Italy. His father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, actually played in the NBA, but played overseas. So when Kobe Bryant was growing up, he actually lived in Italy with his mom and dad. He was actually born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And ironically, last night, LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant for third all-time in the NBA scoring list. And last night, Kobe tweeted a congratulation tweet to King James. So the fact that not even a whole day has passed and Kobe Bryant is no longer with us, we're talking about somebody that was relentless, somebody that was an entrepreneur, somebody that was a successful black athlete, somebody that was a community activist. Again, for those that got to see him and saw what he was all about, he was all about his family, his beautiful wife Vanessa, beautiful daughters. And again, he bled purple and gold till the last day. He was a Laker for life, and I don't think anybody would imagine him in any other jersey that wasn't Laker in purple and gold. He has this well-deserved statue outside of the Staples Center, and that I know of, he's the only NBA player that has not one, but 2 jerseys retired. And again, not even the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, has that. He has number 23 retired at the United Center in Chicago, but he doesn't have number 45. Kobe has number 8 and number 24. So again, it's just heartbreaking. A very sad day. Another unbelievable soul lost in January. And trying to pick up the pieces. It's a tough day for the community. It's a tough day for Laker fans, for NBA fans, for sports fans. He touched so many lives. I don't think he realized just how amazing and special he really was. And I just cannot imagine what his beautiful family, his wife, his parents are going through. Joe and Pam Bryant. We're just heartbroken, shocked, I think numbed. I don't think we keep seeing it on social media and the news that finally confirmed it, unfortunately, but I don't think it has hit us, even though we are all unfortunately saddened by the news, but it hasn't sinked in yet that we have to talk about Kobe Bryant in past tense, and we're never gonna see him at courtside with his daughter or his beautiful family watching a Laker game, or he was gonna go to the Grammys, actually to the Oscars tonight. So again, it's just heartbreaking to lose somebody that meant so much to all of us. Somebody that was a brilliant businessman. I think he had written some children's books. He had won an Oscar for a short film last year. He transcended sports in such a way that very few athletes ever have. And we're talking about somebody like a Muhammad Ali, somebody like a LeBron, somebody that was more than just basketball, somebody that wasn't afraid to speak his mind. And if you didn't like him, he was okay with you changing the channel. And I've learned so much from his work ethic, his relentlessness. He was somebody that was very confident in himself, very sure of himself, and it rubbed people the wrong way because, again, you're perceived as cocky, arrogant, you think you're all that, But again, his unbelievable statistics, his records. We're talking 20 years with one organization. We're talking 18 All-Star teams. We're talking 2 Olympic gold medals. We're talking about that 81-point game that he dropped in January against the Raptors, which is the second highest scoring game in NBA history behind Will Chamberlain's 100, which we don't have documentation of that game. So technically that 81 is the highest recorded game that we have so far. We're talking about 3-time All-Star Game MVP. We're talking about one MVP of the league. We're talking about 2 Finals MVPs that were won after Shaq left, which nobody thought that he could win without Shaq or any other superstar. I mean, we're talking, over 33,000 points, which till before yesterday, he was the 3rd all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and all of them were done with one organization. Again, 2 retired numbers. Again, we could go on and on, but I think we're going to miss more the man, the smile, that $1 million smile that he had, immaculate dresser, the jokester, that Mamba stare that I think his opponents and his teammates would always remember. That stare down, that he just wasn't going to be intimidated by anybody or anyone. There was nobody that he couldn't compete against or he couldn't be up against. And I remember watching the 1998 All-Star Game in Madison Square Garden. I was glued to the TV, and a young 18-year-old Kobe Bryant was going up against the GOAT, Michael Jordan, like his life depended on it. And between commercials, he was asking Jordan about certain moves and should he post and should he do this. And I'm thinking, this guy's going to be an unbelievable player. And this was in his first year. So we had no idea about the other 19, how amazing they were going to be. But just saddened by the loss of just an unbelievable human being. So I'm all with you. We've lost an amazing athlete, an amazing friend, an amazing icon. And I just cannot wait till January is over.